Hey guys, you Toxic here, and today I'll be comparing the newly blown up PUBG and the lesser known DayZ. More older gamers will know DayZ as one of the most blown up games, and it was highly expected to make a good standalone game, but unfortunately it's still in early access development even after 4 years. Yeah, that's right, 4 years. I'll be comparing these games with a technical standpoint. Yes, they're two basically different genres, but they come from the same root, an Arma 3 mod, and that's what got me interested into both of these. So first up, I have the sound. So I think PUBG does actually have the upper hand in the sound aspect, mainly because like all the gun sounds are recorded much more vibrantly. You can hear the clear shots. Some shots can be muffled if they're far away, which is also a nice touch. When your character gets injured, he actually grunts in pain, which is also a nice immersion bit. DayZ is good. It has good sound effects, and when you're not expecting it, for example, when I'm running like right here in the background gameplay, you don't expect any shots. You're just running down a nice cinematic valley, and then all of a sudden you just hear an AK-47 blast right at you. It terrifies you so bad, but I think PUBG does get the upper hand here. Okay, so next I have graphics. Surprisingly enough, I think DayZ should win in this department because the trees and the whole terrain looks much nicer, crisper. It looks beautiful, especially for a game from 2013. And PUBG has been released since 2016, which is the date Battlefield 1 came out, and that is gorgeous. And PUBG just, I think it doesn't stand a chance against DayZ's cinematic landscapes. But PUBG does excel in some things though. For example, it does have better buildings. I think the buildings have more in them, they have more to explore, they have more to utilize. It has better gunplay, like you can actually see the bullet fly out of your gun when you shoot. It has better graphical settings and adjustments that you can mess around with. But the optimization is absolutely awful for PUBG. Well, neither for DayZ, none of them have actually pretty good optimization. However, PUBG, sometimes even a GTX 1080 can't run it. The lighting in DayZ is actually a lot better in my opinion as well as the grass. The grass is super important for me because I like the camouflage aspect of DayZ. For example, it doesn't make sense to wear a bright red jacket in DayZ because everyone will see you. Instead, you should pick a nice calm green sweater, or even if you can craft one, a ghillie suit. While in PUBG, you can get a ghillie suit. It's very rare because it comes in drops and not every drop has a ghillie suit. One of the desert maps in PUBG by the name of Miramar does not actually have a lot of camouflage you can use. There's some grass and there's some trees, but overall it's really flat and obvious if someone's running. But in DayZ, you can actually totally use the trees and the grass to cover yourself so that enemies, snipers, and bandits won't see you. Now, on my next topic, I have gameplay. I'd love to give PUBG and DayZ a point each, but for me, DayZ has just better gameplay. It's a lot more consistent, yet it's also dynamic. There's more map interaction, like using the map and knowing the routes and the buildings. As I already said, the camouflage in it. You have to scavenge around for apple trees and water wells, which does add another layer of gameplay to it. It's much harder to find a functional, working, good gun in DayZ. For example, the VSS, the SVD are very rare, and for example, the VSS ammo spawns only in certain helicopter crashes, which is very rare. It could take you up to hours and hours on end to actually find a VSS and an SVD mag, so it's much harder to actually find ammo for those guns. Not only that, but for guns, you need to actually find a good scope, a suppressor, you need to craft a ghillie gun wrap, you need to find the mag, you need to find the ammo for the mag, and this adds so much skill to actually finding the guns, whereas in PUBG, you just run around, you find a gun, and there's ammo next to it. Which does make me excited. So for example, if I'm just scavenging around and I find, oh yeah, PU scope, I can totally put that on my SKS, finally. There are zombies, of course, in DayZ. The main feature of DayZ is because it's a zombie apocalypse. There's random zombies which you have to worry about. There's wolves. I feel much more immersed and engaged when playing DayZ. The map is just so much more detailed. To sum it up, PUBG has more fast-paced gameplay than DayZ and much less lifespan. It's less about stealth and much more about the gunplay, which is sometimes a good thing. I like to think of it as PUBG, it's easier to learn but much harder to master. Overall, both games are really good. PUBG is more fast-paced and has just a tiny lower skill curve than DayZ. DayZ is much more, laid back, just loot hoarding, mostly calm, but when they get intense, it gets super intense. PUBG is €30 on Steam, while DayZ is €28 on Steam. Both are really good prices when comparing to top AAA games like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. As I said in the beginning of this video, this is just my observations and my personal opinion. And if you do have your own and you want to share it, please do leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read what you guys think about PUBG and DayZ. Anyways guys, that's been it for today. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you do like my content, and I'll see you later.